My first influencer outreach email was an absolute essay. I'm not even exaggerating. I introduced myself. Hi, I'm Jackie. I'm an influencer manager at blank. I name dropped. I linked 3 YouTube videos. I pasted in this generic paragraph about the brand. It was so long, and then I would sit there refreshing my inbox, wondering why nobody was replying. Honestly, now it just makes me cringe. In the beginning, I made basically every mistake you can. My emails were way too long. I introduced myself in the first line, which, by the way, is a complete waste of space. The influencer does not care who you are yet. I would paste in a generic paragraph about what the brand does, and I would stuff it with links. I'd name drop all of it. After 5 years and thousands of partnerships, trust me, I've made every mistake in the book. And it took me a lot of testing and a lot of no replies to strip it down to what actually works. So let me give you the stripped down version. And the very first thing to get this is influencer marketing is not a pure numbers game. You can send 500 messages a day, and if the message is wrong, you'll get crickets. So stop optimizing for how many you send and start optimizing for what you say. I break my message into 4 parts. That's it, just 4 parts. Part 1, the first sentence. This is where almost everyone loses. Don't introduce yourself and don't open with I love your content. Introducing yourself is a wasted space, and I love your content is what every single brand says. So it tells the influencer nothing, and it honestly tells them that you didn't even watch their videos. Your first sentence has to be about them. Reference a specific post, a specific thing they do well. Make it obvious a person actually wrote this. Part 2, introduce your product in a way that makes sense for them, not for yourself. Here's a mistake I see brands make constantly. Brands paste in their generic description. Something like, we're a clean, sustainable brand reinventing your daily routine. Nobody connects to that. It's just brand speak. You need to explain it the way you would explain it to a friend. So what works best for me is writing the product in the language of the influencer's niche. I'd like to think about it like this. You know when you reach for a mug and the handle is turned perfectly towards you. So you just grab it. You don't need to think about it. That's what your product description should feel like. You're turning the handle towards them. You're explaining the product in a way that makes it a complete no-brainer for their life and their content. When you speak their language, they instantly see the fit. You're doing all the connecting for them. Part 3, say the word paid partnership. This is genuinely one of the biggest levers I've found. If it's a paid partnership, say paid partnership in those exact words, both in the email and in the subject line. Influencers get flooded with collab messages, and most of them are people fishing for free product. The second you say paid partnership, you're separating yourself from all of that noise. You're a real opportunity, not another freebie. The final step is ending it with a question. So simple, and people skip it all the time. If your message ends on a statement, you've left the influencer to figure out how to respond. And anything that takes a little bit more effort tends to just not happen. So end with an easy yes. Would you be open to hearing more? Now all they need to do is reply yes. And you made it effortless. So that's the message. A first line about them, the product in their language, the word paid partnership, and a question at the end. And one quick rule that saved me so many times. Do not put any links in your first email. Links are the fastest way to land straight in the spam folder. And if you're in spam, none of this matters because they never even saw your email. Save the links for once they've replied and you're actually having a conversation. Where do you actually send this? Start with email when you can find one because DMs get buried under customer messages, fan comments, and they just disappear. My first step now is actually using AI. I'll use Claude to map out publicly available emails for my list. It's not going to find every single one, but at least it's getting some of them out of the way for me. So it does the first pass, and then I need to do the rest manually, unfortunately. Then for the rest, you go manually. And it's easier than most people think. First, check the link in bio, then their link tree, their Facebook page, their YouTube. All of those places have their links. If you still haven't found it, go to the Instagram app on your phone, and you'll be able to see a contact button and check there for their email. Also, if any influencers are actually watching this video, to get way more brand deals, just make your link easy to find. You'll get so many more emails about brand collaborations. And if there's generally no email anywhere, then you DM. But if you're going to DM on Instagram, I really want you to use the partnership inbox. Let me actually sell you on this for a second because most brands ignore it. When you reach out through Instagram's partnership tools instead of regular DMs, a few things happen. The creator immediately knows this is a real paid partnership, not a fan message or not someone sending them a freebie. It doesn't get lost in the same pile of, where's my order? What did you think about this product? And it signals that you're an actual professional that has done this before, that you're serious. All of that lifts your response rate before they've even read your message. So if the only way in is a DM, the partnership inbox is the way to do it. Okay, now you sent the perfect message and still don't hear back. Don't panic. And please, please, please don't spam them. The way I do it is one follow-up about 1 to 2 weeks later. Just a short reply to the original email, 1 to 2 sentences, still personalized to their niche. That's it for the short term. Anything else starts to feel desperate. And if they still don't reply, try again in 6 months. Because circumstances change and a no is usually just a not right now. Now you might be thinking this is great for one influencer, but I need to reach out to 100. Here's the trick. You don't actually need to write a template for every single influencer. You write them per niche. The product explanation, the partnership invite, the question, all of that resonates with the whole niche. So you just need to build that once. The only thing you actually need to personalize is the first sentence. And honestly, sometimes even that first line can be written once for the entire niche. If there's a shared reference, a trend everyone in that space is talking about, a pain point they all have, you can just write one opener that lands for all of them. So more of this is reusable than you'd think. This is exactly where things start to break for most teams. Because once you're sending real volume, the outreach isn't the hard part. Keeping track of it is. Who did I contact? Who replied? Who needs a follow-up today? Who went quiet 2 weeks ago? When that lives in spreadsheets, people fall through the cracks. And every influencer that falls through the cracks is money left on the table. I know that because I lived it for years. So I built the fix. That's the whole reason we made Amplify Influencer. It tracks the whole outreach pipeline in one place. So you can see your response rates and how long it's taking you from first message all the way to signing a deal. And you can automate everything. You can automate the follow-up reminders per stage so that follow up in 2 weeks and try again in 6 months don't just live in your memory anymore. The system just reminds you. And the newest piece I'm genuinely excited about is we built a Claude MCP that updates each creator's profile automatically based on the emails you send. So as you go back and forth with an influencer, the details from those emails are automatically pulled into their profile. You're not copying notes over by hand. It just stays current. So if you want to check it out, it's amplifyinfluencer.com. The link is down here in the description. So that's the message that took me from 10% to 40% response rate. And trust me, it's a lot shorter than the essays I used to send. A first line about them, speak their language, say paid partnership, end with a question, and no links in that first email. I put my full outreach playbook, the niche templates, and the exact follow-up cadence into a free influencer outreach guide. First link in the description, go grab it. And if this was useful, subscribe because next I'm going to be breaking down how much to actually pay influencers, including the time I paid $20,000 for something I should have paid $7,000. I'll see you in that one.